Sean Connery, who defined the role of James Bond for a generation, dies at 90. "Good night, Mr. Bond." Villain Auric Goldfinger uttered that line in the 1964 James Bond classic Goldfinger, before leaving Sean Connery's Bond to die a certain death. The suave 007 managed to escape, of course, playing Bond 7 times after debuting as the first Bond in 1962's Drive. No. The Oscar-winning Connery has died at age 90, family spokesperson Nancy Seltzer confirmed to USA Today. His wife Micheline and his two sons, Jason and Stefan, have confirmed that he died peacefully in his sleep surrounded by family, Seltzer said. There will be a private ceremony followed by a memorial yet to be planned once the virus has ended. The news was first reported by BBC. The verified Twitter account for the James Bond films also confirmed the news. Producers Michael G. Wilson and Barbara Broccoli said they were devastated by the news. He was and shall always be remembered as the original James Bond whose indelible entrance into cinema history began when he announced those unforgettable words, "The name's Bond." James Bond, they said in a statement. He was the epitome of the suave but dangerous spy with a license to kill and the authority to flaunt his famously hairy chest in the process. The legion of die-hard Connery fans would adamantly insist that no one else could truly be referred to as Mr. Bond, not even the actors who followed in Connery's footsteps, including you, Daniel Craig. Sean Connery was the first and most culturally influential Bond, says Bill Desowitz, author of James Bond Unmasked, of the star's enduring legacy. He combined tough working-class appeal with a smooth sense of refinement. The other Bonds have been chasing his shadow ever since. For a generation, Connery will forever remain the first and only James Bond. Director Steven Spielberg summed up the rugged Scotsman's instantaneous worldwide impact when presenting Connery with his American Film Institute Lifetime Achievement Award in 2006. The moment Sean Connery introduced himself as Bond, he became the man all men wanted to be and all women just wanted, Spielberg said. The journey to that screen moment was a long one for Connery, born August 25, 1930, to Joseph and Euphemia Connery, a factory worker, truck driver and cleaning lady respectively. The young Connery worked in menial jobs such as bricklayer, lifeguard and even a coffin polisher after 3 years of naval service. While born poor, he did have gifts. Connery capitalized on his burly good looks as a bodybuilder, taking third in the 1950 Mr. Universe competition, and model. After transitioning into acting, it took nearly 8 years of bit parts before the aspiring actor would appear in his first leading role opposite Lana Turner in 1958's Another Time, Another Place, followed by a singing lead role in Disney's Darby O'Gill and the Little People, 1959. 3 years later, he appeared in Drive. No, first uttering the immortal 007 introduction, Bond, James Bond, while lighting a cigarette in black tie after winning a hand of casino blackjack. Connery learned how to portray the glamorous world of a screen spy under the tutelage of Drive. No director and Bon vivant Terence Young showed Connery how to eat and walk, and fueled Connery's interest in the fine clothing Bond inhabits. "You have to work very hard to make something look easy," Connery told USA Today in 2006 of his Bond portrayal. With his clothing, cars and women, Bond was an immediate culture changer in depressed post-war Britain and worldwide. Connery was fresh and outside of the box. He was a younger, more dangerous Cary Grant, says Desowitz. Even his walk conveyed this sense of power and sexiness. His producers described it as a panther's walk. Connery returned as Bond in 1963's From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, 1965's Thunderball and 1967's You Only Lived Twice, before stepped away from the Prime franchise for myriad reasons, including the pursuit of more varied roles and the public pressure playing the instantly iconic character. But the allure was too much to quit. He was coaxed back for 1971's Diamonds Are Forever and 1983's Never Say Never Again, referred to as the unofficial Bond film, since it wasn't made by Eon Productions. Away from Bond, Connery received the breadth of roles and acting accolades for which he yearned. He played British military officer Colonel Arbuthnot in 1974's A Murder on the Orient Express and adventurer Daniel Dravat in director John Huston's The Man Who Would Be King, 1975. Connery played the immortal Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez in 1986's Highlander and 1991's Highlander 2, The Quickening, the only character besides Bond he played in more than one film. He was savagely shot up as Irish-American officer Jim Malone working for Kevin Costner's Eliot Ness in 1987's The Untouchables. The role earned Connery a Best Supporting Actor Oscar at age 57. "Patience truly is a virtue," Connery said during his acceptance speech. Directors were willing to make story trade-offs to bring him on board a project. Spielberg cast Connery, then 58, to play Indiana Jones's cantankerous father alongside Harrison Ford, just 12 years younger, in 1989's Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. In 1990, he maintained his barely disguised Scottish accent as a Russian submarine captain trying to defect to the United States in the hunt for Red October. Connery's celebrity came with controversy. During a 1987 TV interview, Connery held his ground on past inflammatory comments about striking a woman if it merits it. "I think it's absolutely right." But the actor weathered the outrage. Connery was proclaimed People's Sexiest Man Alive at 59 in 1989. When he was knighted by Queen Elizabeth II in July 2000, he declared it one of the proudest days of my life. The love for Connery, whom Spielberg called one of 7 movie stars in the world today, never dimmed even as he stepped increasingly away from acting to retirement in the Bahamas with Micheline, his wife of 45 years. Before Micheline, he married Diane Cilento in 1962, and they had a son together, Jason, pre-divorcing in 1973. The Bond influence remained even as the roles became less frequent, such as Alan Quatermain, head of a group of Victorian-era superheroes in 2003's The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, even voicing an animated character in his final role, as an aged, clumsy veterinarian in the 2012 Scottish film Sir Billy, brought out a slew of Bond references. During a rare public appearance in August 2017, when the 87-year-old actor showed up courtside at New York's U.S. Open tennis match, Connery beamed with delight when his image was displayed as the loudspeaker blasted the Bond theme. In August 2020, he easily topped all screen Bonds in a Radio Times fan poll, 37 years after his final performance. Connery did have that great career he wanted beyond the scope of Bond, says Des outlets. But for many, Sean Connery will be remembered as 007. That's his enduring legacy.